CEO and co-founder. It is a spectacular, super spectacular fall day here in Rhode Island, and we should all be grateful and wish everybody well down in Florida for the brutal weather that they've had to suffer through. But I want to go over to Libby Slater. She's one of the top designers here in Providence and has built an incredible firm. Libby, thanks so much for joining us.
Josh, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, talk about your firm, because we've GoLocal and your mediocre rise has sort of mirrored each other over the last 10 years. I'd love to hear more, I'm sure everybody does, about really the space you're in and how you're helping businesses.
Thank you so much. So I just want to say, give GoLocal a shout out. I think it was 2012, I was a person to watch for GoLocal. And that actually, I put that on my CV, and it's meaningful to me to have had that recognition back then. So
see how good we are at picking winners?
Yeah. So you're so so I started my firm 12 years ago. I've been an interior designer for over 35 years. And it was great to go out on my own 12 years ago. We specialize in hospitality and corporate office design. And we've done a lot of restaurants here in Providence, a lot of them on Westminster Street. We have awesome clients. And we've also done work on the Cape. And so I have 6 people that are working for me now, and we've grown over the past few years, made it through the recession, thankfully, and that's a little bit about us.
So Libby, people don't, if you're in the business, you know how hard it is to create a creative shop. Previous to GoLocal, I'd worked and been partners in ad agencies, and how difficult it is, especially through periods like COVID, where literally the world just shuts down. I mean, no one's sending you RFPs during that period, that year-long period. No one's knocking on the door as the hospitality industry is sort of fighting for it. How were you able to succeed and survive such an incredibly difficult business period?
Well, we were so fortunate to be able to take advantage of PPP loans, as well as an EIDL loan. And our projects that we were working on pre-COVID kept going. Our clients were able to maintain their, those projects under construction. There were a lot of projects that are under construction during that time, so we were able to work through that. We also took advantage of the state's work-share program. So with all of those things, with the PPP and the EIDL and working and the state's programs, we were able to do it and come out stronger. So, and it was an incredible. Even though we were working remotely, it was a bonding time, I think, for my team, to be able to get through all of that together. So I was grateful for that.
Kudos to you. Listen, we've been featuring the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program. We've talked to a lot of people over the past few years who have gone through the program, and people tell interesting stories about how it helped them transform. My favorite is one who's a leading interpreting firm. Started with $25, and now she's just rocketing it. Talk a little bit about how that program helped you in your business.
I did the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program in 2017, and I was cohort 4, if you can believe it. And they're going to be going into cohort 18 right now. So it's really a testament to the program and the success of the program locally. And just kind of going back a little bit to the COVID situation, it was really great to have the things set up for my business that made it easy for me from the financial perspective. All of the, let me say this. Before I did the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses, I would say I was doing business by Braille, right? I'm a creative person, left brain, right brained. the business acumen that comes naturally to some people, to a lot of creative people, it's not that great. And so what the Goldman Sachs program allowed me to do was to really learn about the important different aspects of my company that I might not have been able to explore or even feel confident exploring, right? Honestly, like really understanding all of the financial things, understanding HR, legal ramifications, marketing. I think that it gave me the opportunity to see things with a different lens. And so again, back to the COVID, it really helped me to have confidence to say, okay, I'm going to apply for this and I'm going to apply for that. I'm going to look into this and I'm going to look into that, because I knew and I had the confidence to be able to do that. And Goldman Sachs really gave me a lot of those tools.
That network from your other cohort members that you went through in 17, how many of them are still resources for you, friends, customers, referrals, etc.? How much bonding was there throughout that experience?
There's a lot of bonding that happens, and I can say that I feel as though I could reach out to anyone in my cohort. There's probably about 10 people who were either clients before or have been referrals now that I'm particularly close with. That bonding experience was unexpected, and what you learn is no matter what business that someone else has, you all share the same anxiety, stresses, concerns. It's just under a different company. So I, for instance, am in a service industry, right? I provide a service. I don't have a product to sell. I'm similar to like a restaurant in that way, right? So it was interesting to find out about different people's businesses, but also how similar we all are.
I thought you sold cool. That you sell cool. Everything you do is cool. This class is the deadline, I think, is around October 10th, so it's coming up in the next couple weeks. How difficult is the application process, the selection process, all of those elements of it, and who would you encourage to take advantage of it?
The application process itself is pretty simple. It's an online application, and so that particular part of it is simple. You just have to have information about, general information about your business that you would have at hand anyway. And then there's an interview process as well. And everybody in the program is associated. The program is so wonderful that it's just a really comfortable experience to do. I would encourage designers. I'm one of the co-founders of Design by RI. We are in Design Week this week. And I think that many designers are like myself, the left brain, right brain kind of thing, where you just need that extra push to understand business, to make your business work for you, and to just have confidence in understanding what you need to do, because you don't know what you don't know. And I think that the Goldman Sachs program really it lays it out in perfect order and very accessible, but you're still working really hard at it. It's a mini MBA, as they say, but it's worth it, and it's free. So that's, to me, that was great. I mean, your time, you're away from your business, which can sometimes be difficult. However, if you set up your business well enough to begin with, then it can spare you for, a day, a week during this time.
Yeah, if I were to go through it, I would just send out a memo to everybody in Rhode Island just saying no news on the following dates because I've got class. It doesn't work quite as well over here at GoLocal land. Libby, talk a little bit about design. We think about MBA programs and skill development, sometimes in business, within the context of a manufacturer or a much more traditional business. But as you say, you know, designers often have great creative skills and are able to go places that others can't. Why so much is this of tremendous value to those who live in the design world, whether it is firms like yourself or small ad agencies or anyone in that creative sphere?
So design is everywhere, and it affects everyone on a daily basis, whether they know it or not. And for a lot of people in the, as I've said, in the creative field, the business acumen may not be there, but they have something to offer. They know they have something to offer, and it's important to be able to understand your value. That was another thing I think that Goldman Sachs also gave me a tremendous boost in, is understanding the value of design and what that means, and to be able to offer it as a service to other businesses. That this is what I love about what I do, is that I help other businesses be successful. If one of my restaurants that we've designed is doing really well, and I go in there and it's busy and they're succeeding, then that's also, I take pride in that as well. And so there must be other companies like an advertising agency who, if they can get themselves set up and they can have the business going, and yet they can still give really great services to their own clients, then it's a win-win.
Libby, you get the last word. What's your message out to small businesses here in Rhode Island about coming out of this COVID experience, going into a new type of business environment, potentially a recession coming, and building those skill sets to be able to not only survive, but also to flourish?
I think that recession, I think that as soon as somebody hears the word recession, they feel as though they have to kind of shut down, slow down. But there's a lot of businesses, especially if there's capital available, that it's a time to really pivot, to grow. It's the cost of, if you're doing a construction project, the cost of materials are down. Sometimes there's more contractors available. Right now, it's really difficult to find contractors for people. And so it's a time to look for those opportunities and to look at the positive things that could come out of it to help other people as well. So I just moved downtown. Our office just moved downtown, and I see downtown coming back. I see things that are happening, and I feel really positive about the future.
Libby Slater, she knows all. For everybody else, Libby, thanks so much for joining us. For everybody else, take a look at GoLocal. There has been a tremendous amount of news already this morning. Take a look at that. RIPTA made a major announcement about their worker shortage, the need to cut routes throughout the state coming up, a kind of a shocking news item. Also, a terrible incident up on Hope Street where there's really an ongoing battle between shop owners and those pushing for bike lanes, and that sort of blew up into an incident. We've got that exclusively. For everybody else, stay tuned for much more. Enjoy this great weather. And also, if you haven't gotten that last booster shot, get it. They got the new fancy kind out that takes care of sort of all the variants that are now out there, and enjoy the fall and into the winter in a much healthier way. Everybody, thanks so much. Stay safe.